Hello everybody, and whoop, we don't want to be on this one, we want to be on that, except that is not the correct banner. Uno momento. I done goofed. Elmaster will be joining us a little bit later, hopefully, if his internet clears up, because apparently he's having internet problems today, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, there we go, and no, we don't want the webcam today. That's more like it. Okay, so today we have the epic matchup of SKT T1 versus Hwaseung Oz, and just make sure I'm alive on Team Liquid and affiliated with the stream. There we go. Okay, so as I said, Elmaster is in fact not here today for some time, although hopefully he will show up a little bit later on and we'll be able to have him involved in the cast. So this is the one that everyone's been waiting for, though, because Bisu is playing. SKT, or Neo SKT Telecom T1 has got Bisu, Sark, Lava, S2 and Pure, and they'll be going up in a Proleague style King of the Hill match against Hwaseung Oz, who is the current, they've got a 2-kill streak and they're the current leaders. So we'll go ahead and get straight into the game as soon as possible. Here we go. Okay, so in the top right corner we have the yellow Protoss Pure playing for SKT, not the Bisu that you wanted, but I'm pretty sure we'll eventually see Bisu today. Certainly I'm looking forward to seeing Bisu play. And bottom right corner is Killer, ridiculously good Zerg player, probably the best Zerg player in SOSPA at the moment, and will be interesting to see how he fares against Bisu, if indeed he does manage to last that long. Of course, yesterday he didn't actually manage to survive that long at all against Sonic's team, and he was taken out by someone. Who was he taken out by? I think it was Brittany. Something ridiculous like that. A bit tired today, so I can't even remember. Oh no, he was taken out by Shiny. Oh, that's right, yeah. Killer was smashed by Shiny, man. That game was funny. Anyway, so now we'll see how he fares against Pure. Pure is pretty decent Protoss. In SOSPA, let's have a quick look-see. Pure is record and games. His all-time record is 50%. That's including his Pro League games though as well, not just his SOSPA stuff. And his PVZ, I should say, is 39.71. So he's statistically his Zerg versus Zerg is his weakest matchup, whereas Killer on the other hand has got extremely strong ZVP with like some massive percentage, like 80% or something like that. Just have a quick look and find out, but I believe he is like insane. Yeah, so Killer's versus Zerg is 77%, so this is definitely Killer favored. But having said that, Pure is pretty good. Like he's not a bad player at all, and I believe he recently returned to Zebrudo, the beautiful game. So it looks like his probe was able to block for a short time, but Killer was managed to drive it off, and they'll continue on with that hatchery ever so slightly delayed. Oh, the probe might die if he's not careful here, but it looks like he'll be fine. Oh! Man, that was pretty close there. So, let's make sure that that's not... Alright, sorry guys, gotta get this done. Okay, that's lined up nicely. So, back into the game. Third has been taken by Killer, of course, so it's looking pretty standard here so far. Normal 3-hatch Spire play against Forge Fast Expand, which is, as I said, pretty standard. We'll see how it progresses from here. He has taken his gas, of course, so he will be going for a Spire as soon as possible. And this wall is a really good wall. It's apparently the level of the walls and players at the moment is now that you can go 9 pool on Fighting Spirit and you will still not be able to stop 12 Nexus, just because of the way that the walls work out and how they're able to get their cannons and stuff up in time for that, which makes things really tough for Zergs, because they can't always 12 hatch just because they could get punished by a 12 gate, so they had a 9-9 gate or even a 10-12 gate would punish that, so they are forced to go for, well, not forced to, but they will often go for like an overpull as opposed to a 12 hatch. But the problem is the overpull can't actually punish anything that the Protoss player does. Now, of course, in the foreign scene, Pauline has released a video explaining how he does an 11 pull. It's actually extremely similar to a 12 pull. The time is like half a second different, but anyway, he does a 11 pull against Protoss on Fighting Spirit, and because of the way that the scouting works out, he can actually determine whether or not there's been a 2 gate and have enough Zerglings to defend it and have a slightly better economy than if you had gone for overpull. So that's an interesting way of going about it. However, there's always been arguments about which is the best build to start with. Anyway, there's the Spire coming out here from Killer. So as I said, looking pretty standard. However, is there in fact a Stargate, or did I miss it? Ah, there is a Stargate. Sorry, I'm blind because of Sonic's overlays covering everything. And looks like a Zealot is going to, no, a Probe is going to try and get up, but Speed has finished for Killer, so that's not going to do much. He's probably going to be able to snipe that before it even gets back as well. And in fact, he does take it down, which is, you know, it's a small thing, but it's a nice extra thing, denying scouting like that. And Pure's first Corsair is on the way. Yep, so Killer is now going up to presumably 5 hatcheries, which again, standard on this map. You could often go up to 6 hatcheries before you even take your Hydralist in as well. So at the bottom left corner we may see, yep, you can see a drone now is going to take that 6th hatchery. So if the Protoss is not going for, if he goes for Corsair before he goes for Zealots, then that means that you can afford to go up to that many hatcheries before you even produce a Hydralist in, so you can defend with Zerglings only. And that's what he's chosen to do. Now, of course, he can see here that the Forge is not spinning, so there's no +1 just yet. So he can, the only thing you would have to worry about is a Speed Zealot without +1 timing attack, which is a legitimate attack, and it is annoying to deal with, but he should be able to be fine against it because he can produce enough Zerglings to defend that at the spur of moment. It looks like he has +1 on the way, unless he's going for a Goon attack, which I doubt. Then that looks like he's got +1 air out on the way, which means his Corsairs are going to be pretty biffy and pretty fast at killing Overlords and Mutalisk. And the Scourge, of course, are going to be able to scout that though, so unfortunately that's not going to be that great. Now Killer, let's be a little bit careful he doesn't lose his Scourge to this cannon though, because that cannon is actually going to finish and he might lose his Scourge if he doesn't move that way. But he does, in fact. He's just trying to get that last Corsair, and he doesn't quite manage to get it because that was weird. Huh. They both contacted. No, one of them died randomly. Anyway, Dark Templar's out, so Pure is going for a bit of the Bisu build, even though he is not in fact Bisu. Now these Dark Templar will be, they will force Killer to stay in his base for a time until his Overlord speed finishes, then he'll be able to push out again. But that's not really a big deal for him, because at the moment he's just got these speed Zerglings running away. They do scout the +1, but he can just sit on his base and macro up some drones and some Hydralisk, and he doesn't really care too much about the fact that he can't have that much map presence at the moment, because there's nothing really to have map presence against anyway. Of course, after he sees that +1, he knows that there are going to be some speed Zealots coming out anytime soon, and as we can see there, Pure's gone up on his number of gateways, preparing for an attack. Now the Corsair won't be able to do very much because of the Spore Colony and the amount of Scorch here. That's actually quite a lot of Scorch, and he's got a nice little split there. So it'll be interesting to see how long they last against the Corsair. The problem is once you get a critical mass of Seer, basically Scourge melts it. So this is the difficult thing about the Dark Templar, is that they force him to stand his base, which means that Pure can afford to take his third base without difficulty. And it looks like he might be able to snipe a Zealot there with his Zerglings, actually. Oh, but the Zealots are coming in. There are 3 Corsair there. He does pull his drones, though. It looks like he's going to be able to surround. Corsair coming in, but the Scourge do engage. A lot of Corsair going down here. He might be able to snipe the Evolution Chamber, though, but some of the Zerglings coming in to reinforce are able to take down a few more Zealots. And looks like he is not able to do very much. Oh, even more Scourge coming, but they do not engage there. Well defended by Killer, although he did lose his Evolution Chamber, which is pretty annoying. And the Zerglings are able to get in. They're able to take down the cannon, and they'll be able to take down the probe too if they manage to catch it, although there are a few Zealots there, so that's not going to look so good for Killer. He is still trying to chase that probe down there, and he might even be able to take it down. Although the second one is coming, and he's going to leave that alone. These Lings are going to get destroyed by those there, and Killer, with a little bit of missed macro on his part, actually does not manage to keep those Zerglings alive, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not a big deal in the general scheme of things, but certainly not ideal. Zealots coming in for yet another attack, and there's a lot of them this time. Very few defenses here, other than those sunken colonies, but it looks like that is going to be enough to drive off the Zealots. Now, of course, Pure just wants to be able to grab his third in safety, and his Dark Templar and Zealots have managed to do that, so he'll be quite happy with that, even though he hasn't managed to do much actual damage with his Zealots. Of course, he did delay any Carapace upgrade that Killer had by killing the Evolution Chamber, but it's a relatively minor thing in the general scheme of things. And Killer, of course, throwing down a couple more hatcheries to increase his macro potential. Now the Hydralisks are seeing these Zealots doing a little bit of macro, but they're not going to be able to do much at all against that many Zealots. However, the second group of Hydralisks is moving out of the field, and they could actually be crushed here if they're not careful. There are quite a few Speed Zealots on the field from Pure. However, he engages here, managed to drive away those Zealots. Pure looking to position all his forces together, but there's even more Hydralisks coming from the other side. Nice little flanking attempt there by Killer, although it's not going to do that much other than get a few free hits on these units. And the High Templar, there's a lot of High Templar here actually, 4 High Templar, and the Zealots look like they might be looking to engage. The Corsair driving away the Overlords, and it looks like they might even kill them all. Zealots coming in here for an engage. Hydralisks are far behind, and you have to be careful not to be stormed here. One storm going down there by the High Templar, a lot of Hydralisks going down, and he's forced to back away. Meanwhile, the Zealots are getting in amongst it, taking down a lot of, trying to take down, oh man, that storm on the drones, and all of Killer's drones at the natural going down. Zealots still trying to take down the second colonies. Don't think they'll be going to do it, but that storm was the money storm, man. That was worth a lot, and man, he killed a lot of Hydralisks with this as well. Didn't manage to clean up all of the sunken colony, but in the end, that storm was a big deal at this stage of the game. A lot of drones going down there, stacked on top of each other. Meanwhile, Killer is trying to go up to his hive tech, but Pure is on 3 base, and his economy is suddenly looking a lot stronger than Killer, for a short time at least, until Killer can rebuild his drones. And of course, Pure can use that timing to his advantage to grab a few more army units of his own and try and establish map presence again. So it looks like Killer has changed into mass Zergling production, which once you're going up to Hive Tech is pretty standard. So you switch to using your gas for lurkers, and then you use your minerals for Zergling. So you have mass Zergling crackling with a few Scourge and Defilers and all that sort of thing. Oh, it looks like he's... Oh man, there's Corsair. Actually, is that a drop coming, or is that just another Corsair coming from Pure? Hard to tell here as he hasn't clicked on the movement. A lot of Speed Zealots coming out here now. Looks like he's going to do another attempt, but there's so many lurkers on the field here for Killer that I don't think he's going to be able to do much unless he has perfect storms. But even with the storms, I think these are spread well enough that he's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to have to pull back, and he does pull back. Good decision here from Pure. Killer, on the other hand, looking to push up the left side of the map, probably trying to keep himself hidden with this pretty large amount of units, so he can try some kind of backstab, I would imagine. However, Pure has been pretty good at keeping a couple of High Templar at his base. A little Dark Templar drop here at the main of Killer. However, I don't think it's going to be able to do much with those cracklings out on the field. And Sonic's having a little bit of a chat with this guy called Bread. But it looks like he's blocked him though, because he doesn't want to chat in the middle of his cast. And it looks like Pure is actually moving over towards taking his 4th perhaps. And indeed he does have a probe there. Overlord is going to scout it though, and Killer is going to want to deny that, because if he does let it go up, he'll be up 4 base versus 4 base, which is not a good position for a Zerg player. If at all possible, you want to be on more bases than the Protoss, not fewer. However, with the cracklings on the field now, Pure's army is actually looking not that strong here, and Killer's army is quite a big red blob on the map, to be honest, and I'm not sure if Pure is actually going to be... I don't think it's a good idea for Pure to actually engage here. If he does go in, he is going to throw down some storms going. He does have observers, but there is a lot of crackling Hydra coming in behind him, and if his storms are all wasted on the Lurkerling in the front, then he's going to have nothing to defend himself from the back. Swarm going down as well, so the Lings are going to be even more effective, and he is engaging with a lot of Zerglings here. That's going to destroy Pure's army, absolutely crushing it. Storms are pretty effective, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough, and he does lose his entire army there. Pure, unfortunately, though he does have a good economy, didn't have a good enough macro to be able to engage there by doing much damage, so if anything, all he managed to do was temporarily delay Killer, but there's such a long line of Zerglings coming across the map here from Killer, producing off all of his hatcheries, and he's just got a lot of units. He is going to throw down a Swarm and try and attack the 3rd. Zergling's running up the ramp, Swarm goes down, and there's no Storm. There goes the Storm now, but it's too late. And the High Templar does go down, cannons all going down, and it looks like he will be able to snipe the hatchery if he does indeed target it down. There's some units from Pure coming across the map to try and defend that, but I don't think he's going to be there in time. And that hatchery is going to go down as Pure does pull away all of his probes there from that base. Hatchery, the Nexus is going down in just a few seconds, extremely quick from these cracklings here. And although he will eventually lose them all, it won't matter because he's managed to do that economic damage, so he's kept Pure on 3 base. Indeed, more than that, he's taken him down to 2 bases temporarily while that Nexus is finishing. Meanwhile, he has got all 3 Evo chambers up, as we just saw there, which means he's able to get all of his upgrades at the same time. Oh, and he managed to snipe a Reaver at the natural, riding in as well with a few Zerglings so he can try and take down one of the cannons. Storm going down, but being nicely effective here, and Lurker's running up onto the 3rd. Looks like they're going to be able to snipe that Reaver as well if he's not careful, and it does go down. All the cannons are getting crushed immediately as well, and suddenly Pure is in a very poor position here, as he's lost all of his Reavers, lost his 3rd, lost his 4th, and he's down to just 2 mining bases. And those bases won't have very many minerals left in them, so this is a very poor position suddenly for Pure. Killer showing off his monster ZVP once again. And that's GG. Pure unable to do anything against the might that is Killer. So we'll see soon how far Killer is able to go against SKT. And we'll get into the next game in just a moment. Okay, so the next is Hwaseung Sak, which is... I should probably have all of these players opened up in a thing. Opened up in a thing, man. Let's have a look. So, playing for SKT will be... it's S2. Okay, so we're going to have ZVZ S2 versus Killer. And it'll be interesting to see how S2 does, as he recently rejoined the Brood War scene. So we'll go ahead and get straight into the game. The map is, I believe it's Circuit Breaker. And there we go. Killer taking down Pure without difficulty in the first game. Textbook destruction of his Protoss in the ZVP on Fighting Spirit. Now, of course, ZVZ Killer has also got an excellent win rate in that matchup, and I'm talking about a really good win rate in that. He's gone. ZVZ is 77%. Oh man, I got the percentages wrong. He was 72% versus Protoss, 77% versus Zerg, and 63% versus Turan. All-time record of 68%. So he is really, really good at all of the matchups. His versus Turan is, of course, somewhat hindered by the fact that he had to play against C quite a lot, and C has got ridiculously good TVZ. It'll be interesting with Light rejoining the scene to see how he, if he's still got his TVZ magic and whether he's able to absolutely destroy all of the Zergs in SOSPA or not. So neither player is going to be scouting in the correct direction at first, but their second overlord will cross over each other unless the Zerglings do scout first. And Killer here looking like to take, is that a 12 Hatchery versus what looks like a 12 pool. I could be wrong there, don't blame me if I'm wrong, I didn't see because I was sleeping. Yes, I was playing mirror matchups versus a friend last night at 2 AM in the morning, so that was interesting because I lost the ZVZ and I won the PvP even though he mains P and I main Z, so we're both pretty bad at mirror matchups, man. Tried a bit of that Hydra ZVZ, which was quite fun to play. Unfortunately, I don't think it's really, like, Hydras versus Zerglings just doesn't actually work that well if he's got enough Zerglings, and like they're pretty effective against Mutalisk just because of the size of the Mutalisk and everything. But the problem is that at the start of the game you don't have any map control because Zergling Muta is going to keep your Hydras in the base, and once you get enough units, by that time the other player can easily have 3 base or alternatively have Hive, or even both of those if you didn't manage to hold them down long enough. So that is the difficult thing in Hydra ZVZ. However, this is Sonic Proleague and is sponsored by Sabinushu, and there is no Hydra ZVZ happening today, I imagine, as I don't know if there has ever been or ever will be a pro Hydra ZVZ. Reason for that being is just not quite good enough at the top level. I mean, it's fine at lower levels because it can actually work quite well, but just because players aren't as good. But at this level, I imagine they've played it versus it many times before, and it's not really a big deal for them to defeat. I could be wrong. I could be that the Koreans have never heard of Hydra ZVZ, but I find it unlikely. And it looks like the Zerglings looking to do a little bit of engaging here. One of the Zerglings does get taken down from S2 as Killer has got a nice little bit of control there. Now, I imagine S2 will have a little bit of a faster lair, but Killer has had his second hatchery for a little bit longer, so he's able to produce a few more units if he so desires. And it looks like they're going in for an engagement here. A couple of Zerglings going down on either side, but neither of them able to gain a significant advantage from that. And it looks like they'll be running back to home. S2 does not want to engage here as he doesn't have enough Zerglings. He is going to throw down a sunken colony though, and Killer has managed to get a couple of Zerglings inside S2's base already. If he's not careful, he's going to lose this drone. He is trying to micro it down, but it looks like it is in fact going to go down. One drone going down, and this Zergling is going to get taken down. The sunken colony not morphed yet. He's engaging with the Zerglings, but I don't know if he has enough to defend here. Killer has got so many Zerglings, and looks like he is indeed able to defeat him there. A couple more Zerglings here, but drones going down. 2 more drones being taken down here in this fight, and Killer is going to absolutely destroy the sunken colony. All the Zerglings going down, and Killer's just got way too many Zerglings here now. S2, GG's out, because that was how ZVZ has gotten, Killer's got massive ZVZ win rate. So, Killer looking in excellent form here. Maybe he's going to go for the all-kill. Already 2-0 up in this series. Good job here from Killer, and we'll see how long he manages to continue. May as well go ahead and get straight into the next game. Keep it going, man. 2 minutes ZVZ is fine. Next map is Sniper's Ridge, I believe. And we have Killer versus. Is it going to be Bisu? Is it going to be Bisu? Can't see because of the overlay. Ah, I see. Waiting for Bisu to join. I don't know if it is Bisu actually. Ah, he's going to be playing against Larva. Okay, so Larva versus Killer. This will be interesting. I mean, Larva doesn't have as good a win rate as Killer and ZVZ, of course, but nobody really does, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes though, because Larva is actually a pretty decent player when he puts his mind to it and when he does actually train hard for events and stuff. Looks like Sonic had a bit of trouble getting the guy into the game, but will forward fast when the game does in fact begin. Ah, here we go. Uno momento. So he's actually showing off his shoes or something, beds or something like that. And he's looking on Africa. Africa is talking to Lava. What is Lava doing, man? Man, something is wrong here because he's showing the first person view. Huh. I'm so confused. Looks like he's going to be casting from Lava's first person view. Okay, fair enough, we'll go with that then. So, here we go guys. It is Larva versus Killer. Sonic casting from Larva's stream, which is a little bit unusual, but it's nice because we get to see the first person view, so we'll see how this goes. The map is Sniper's Ridge, and it is a ZVZ. And Larva spamming away there pretty fast with the spam, man. As spam goes. So, in case you weren't all aware, Sabino Shoe is the shoe brand and company that Symbol Farm being the company that is sponsoring this King of the Hill Pro League. So many thanks to them, and do buy their shoes if in fact you do want to buy their shoes. They're pretty cool shoes. So that's Sonic's company basically. He's a pretty cool dude selling all those shoes. So it looks like Lava's going to open with a 1 base just to begin with, and look at him, man. Look at that intensity on his face. He even got his Telecom T1 t-shirt on. He's for real today, man. He is serious. No joking around from Lava. He wants to win, man. This is serious business. And he's gonna show Killer how it's done. He's going to throw down his hatchery now, and on this big map, that's fine, not going for massive lings to begin with. Throwing his guys onto gas, and just waiting until he can see exactly where Killer is and what he's doing. Neither Overlord has scouted the other player just yet, but of course, and here we go, now we have Killer's first person view. I see how Sonic's doing this. So, bottom left versus top left position. Killer with 6 lings. He hasn't made his hatchery yet, so it looks like he went with a 9 pull with gas, of course. And he has not yet taken his natural. He might actually be going for 1 base with just taking his lair any second now. Yep, and there you go, his lair has started. He is coming in to do a little bit of engage here. Lava has completed his Zerglings though, so he's going to be able to defend this pretty adequately, although having said that, this hatchery is taking quite a lot of damage here and he's not engaging. He needs to be careful though, as Killer does have a couple more lings coming in from the bottom here. Nice little micro here, and it looks like the hatchery might actually go down if he's not careful. He needs to engage here, but Lava is indeed coming in with his Zerglings, trying to defend his hatchery. He needs to be careful not to lose it, because Killer's just taking more and more hits onto that hatchery, and if it goes down, it's just going to be so hard for Lava to do anything. Indeed, it is almost going down, but he is looking to go for an engage now. Does manage to shove Killer up against the minerals. He has got a couple drones in there as well. It looks like the Zerglings are going to go for a run by though, trying to get into the natural, and he's going to go and defend that with his own Zerglings. Has to try and defend his economy advantage with his Zerglings here, as he does have now got 2 hatcheries. He is morphing the lair at his natural, so he can have a little bit more hit points on that, so which will keep it alive for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Killer on the other hand, keeping his Zerglings alive. He is still on his 1 base. He does have speed, of course, and looks like he almost managed to take down 1 drone, but Lava's got pretty good reflexes there. Spire going down here now from Killer, though, so he has got a faster Spire and faster lair. On the other hand, Lava has got a lot more economy because of having his... Oh, looks like he's going to lose all of his Zerglings in that base, so he's not going to be able to keep those alive any longer. And he throws down a sunken colony just because he wants to be able to defend against Lava's potential to have mass Zergling attacking him. He's going to place all of his Zerglings on the ramp to maintain his positional advantage. And it looks like Lava is going to try and get up there though. Don't know if he has enough Zerglings. He's trying to push up, but the Concave is too great. And he needs to be careful here that he doesn't just get Killer running straight back into his base and killing him. There's of course a sunken colony on the way. So he's not going to be able to do that much once he does get up, unless he just continues with pure massling. However, his lair was on the way, so he might be able to do a little bit better than that if he indeed tries to. Killer continuing to produce Zerglings off of this, and here we go back into Lava, and it looks like he's just maintaining his position here. He has got a few more Zerglings on the way, but he actually has fewer Zerglings than Killer, which is interesting, given that he has got 2 bases. Does manage to get some Zerglings out, but he's not willing to engage there, as there's too many Zerglings to fight off there. And Killer is aware of how many drones and Zerglings and so on he does have, so not much that either player is going to be able to do at this point. They have to wait for the Mutalisk to come out, and then we'll see how it goes. Looks like Lava is going to throw down Evo Chamber, so he's going to defend with Spore Colony to begin with, and he does manage to get up on top of the ramp here. Killer forced to pull back, but he does have a sunken colony, so Lava doesn't really want to engage here. He does engage though, losing quite a few Zerglings here to Killer's sunken colony and Zerglings, but he should have enough to defend here if he does produce a couple more. Unfortunately, Mutalisk are on the way now from Killer, and he's going to be able to do a bit of damage with those, again killing off that Overlord immediately. On the other hand, we do have Spore Colony coming out from Lava. And he's still trying to do a little bit of harassment with these Zerglings, but I don't think he's going to be able to achieve very much with that. Given the Sunken Colony and Mutalisk are there now, his Spore Colony will have completed those, so he will be fine in terms of defending at least for a while, although Killer's got pretty good Mutalisk macro, so he might be able to pick off a drone or 2 here or there. And we'll see how he does manage to go with this. He's probably got, I think, 4 Mutalisk now? Yeah, he does 4 Mutalisk now, which is enough to be able to start sniping drones. If you can get a couple hits off with those against any of the drones, then. But there are 2 Spore Colonies there. Killer, of course, Lava, of course, is just remaining on his bases and droning up a little bit while he can. Not yet really willing to take his Spire, as he doesn't feel he has enough economy to be able to produce off 2 hatcheries. However, I think he's about ready to be able to do that, and he should be producing a bit more. A couple of drones randomly appearing from Killer here. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but he does have them, so he's like, okay, why not use them, man? I do got them. I do have them. And oh, he's going for a sunken rush here, working on the fact that he has more Zerglings here to be able to defend. Looks like Lava's going to go for the engage though. He is going to try and continue with this. The Spore Colony is not quite in range to be able to protect those Zerglings against, but Lava's got his own sunken, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything with this. And he does continue to try and morph them. He's going to try and go for it. Lava producing a few Zerglings, and it looks like he will be able to defend here. He has to be careful though that he doesn't lose his own units to these creep colonies, but I don't think that's going to work. Good defense here from Lava, and he does manage to defend that. GG from Killer, immediately running out, and Lava just taking that very handily, man. And Lava is super happy about that, man, because he owned that up. And he even fell off his chair and knocked his entire chair off. Man, Lava, well played there, man. Good job, man. Good job. Lava already had a couple of sunkens there, so that was not going to happen. And now we'll see who comes up against Lava in this next game. Still haven't seen any Bisu, and it looks like it's going to be Beast versus Lava. That'll be an interesting matchup. Another ZVZ. Yeah, Yojin. Okay, so the map is Wind and Cloud, I believe. We'll find out in the game, which we are in the game, and it is, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Wind and Cloud. It's got a weird name like Punu or something like that in Korean, but Wind and Cloud is how we know it in the English-speaking world. Was that a fake? I think that might have been a fake Lava. Okay, so hold up 1 second. We'll get to the real game in a moment. I see, he's using the streams to clarify that it is in fact the correct player. Okay, so here we go. We have got first person views again. Lava in the top left corner, Onward and Cloud playing against Beast in the bottom right corner, so they are cross positions. And of course another player is going to be kind of scouting cross positions to begin with. So Beast of course did do an all kill previously, whereas Lava has just taken down Killer, who's got Monster ZVZ, and Lava did manage to take him down. So, although Killer had a bit of an odd play there, and I'm not sure whether he was just trolling or whether he legitimately was trying that build. I imagine, given his attitude though, I imagine he was actually legitimately trying with that build. And it would have worked if Lava didn't already have Sunken Colonies morphing. But unfortunately they were already there because he was wanting to defend against any Zergling attack that was going to come in. And happily for him, it was also able to defend the Sunken Colony rush that Killer had. So Lava taking that, and he's going to be intensely trying to beat Beast here. Beast has got pretty beastly ZVZ and indeed beastly all matchups, as we saw with his all kill of STX, I believe it was. Oh man, I've been casting so much I can't even remember which game it was. So the second Overlord from Beast is going to be sent cross positions, which is a fair enough decision in this instance, because if he spots the Overlord coming from the right, then he'll be able to change direction and he won't have lost much time. But if he doesn't, then he can be not necessarily 100% confident, but he can be a little bit confident that that Lava won't be on the bottom left corner, so he'll have a higher chance that he won't be, at least sort of like a 33% chance that he will and 66% chance that he'll be at the top left, just based on the Overlord scouting patterns. Not that that's a massive deal in ZVZ, to be honest. I mean, you probably won't lose if you don't know that kind of thing. Although it looks like he's just going to keep it at the bridge, though he's not going to continue moving it all the way to the top left. And we do have Lair on the way here from Lava, and he should be producing some Zerglings, some Choggolings. And I imagine at this stage he, the way he moves his Overlord suggests he's trying to dodge the Overlord of Beast there. At the same time he does want to be able to get the scout off, so that's probably what he's doing there, is he thinks that he's at the... Well, he's sending one Zergling off to go and scout across position, and he will find Beast pretty quickly there. Now both players of course have got... Is it the same build? It's a pretty similar build either way. I think Beast might have gone for an earlier hatch, but I was sleeping at the time, so I'm not even sure, yo. Not even sure. Meanwhile, Lair is just about complete here from Beast, so... Huh. Did he go 12 pool? Did he go 12 pool? And Spire immediately going down, so he's got nice timings here on his stuff. Of course, these pro gamers normally do have pretty good timings on their stuff. It's a pretty standard thing to have good timings. And it looks like Lava trying to get a scout in, but Beast does manage to take it down, so he's not going to be able to see anything other than a lot of Zerglings. And I mean, Beast could just continue to produce Zerglings off this and try and overpower Lava, but I don't think that's actually going to work, to be honest, given that Lava has got his own 2 hatcheries, and he's even got a sunken colony. It looks like he's even going to go up to 2 sunken colony here, So he thinks that Beast is going for a bit of a Ling all-in here, which I don't know if that's actually correct, given that his Spire is actually, if anything, further progressed than Lava's. It looks like Beast sent his units to the top right there, trying to hide them, I think. But that's not going to do anything. Now he is going to send them cross positions now. Going to go for the big attack, but of course his drone account has been significantly weakened by doing this attack, and there are 2 sunken colonies there, so there's no way that this is going to work. His Spire is just about complete though, and he does have almost 500 gas, so he's going to be able to pop a whole bunch of Mutalisks after this attack, if indeed he does go in. And it looks like he's looking there to go in. Engages here, but he sees that there's an evolution chamber and a whole bunch of sunken colonies plus zerglings to defend. He is focusing down the evo chamber, the drone cancels, so Lava even managed to keep that alive, and with the 2 sunken colonies there, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish this. Lava's still trying to engage here. He doesn't have very many zerglings left actually, and Beast has got a lot of zerglings. Looks like he's going to run by into the main and try and take down some of these drones here. He has to be careful that his zerglings aren't actually that very high on hit points. He does manage to take down one of them, but a couple of his zerglings going down. Mutalisks now coming out here from... and Lava managed to get a Zergling into his base. 2 drones already going down, and a 3rd drone goes down, so Lava with his nice little Zergling control managed to get one down, and that is crucial in this here because there's so few drones there from Beast now, and Lava's suddenly in an extremely strong position here with his pretty similar drone counts actually, because he had to build those 2 sunken colony, but pretty similar drone counts, but the Mutalisk counts is what's going to matter here, and I think actually Beast has got a couple more Mutalisk, as well as he's got that Scourge there, so we'll see how this goes down. Tense moment here for Lava, as I believe he does have a couple more drones, so if he can maintain his economic advantage, he can eventually outproduce Beast, but he needs to be able to survive for long enough to be able to do that. And there are a lot of Scourge out here actually from Beast. I imagine that's because he has a lot of gas and not enough minerals, so he's going to try and overwhelm Lava with mass Scourge. But of course if Lava's got good control on the Scourge, that won't be good enough to defend against him. He does have, his Overlord is scouted though, so that's going to be a bit of an annoying thing for Lava there, as now he has to reproduce that Overlord to be able to continue to produce units. However, Beast does not want to quite engage. He's just moving around the map, having a look around to see what he can see, and he's got his own Lava and quite a lot of Mutalisk of his own as well. It looks like he is trying to engage here. Beast with a nice little bit of micro, and he sees the amount of Scourge that there are. Wow, that's a lot of Scourge. And he's like, oh snap man, I'm going to run away. Oh man, he does manage to take down one of the Mutalisks. Nice little deselect there and sending it to go take down that Mutalisk. And Lava's actually got quite a lot of Mutalisks now. If he can micro correctly against those Scourge, he's going to be in an extremely strong position here, as he's got a more Mutalisk now at this stage than what Beast has got. So Beast is actually relying on his mass Scourge number to try and win this, but to be honest, Lava's control of his Mutalisks is pretty good, and I think he should be fine against this in terms of surviving against the Scourge. Beast here coming in to engage. Scourge engaging a little bit, doing a couple of hits here, and whoa, temporary stream freeze. Now he is trying to build his Mutalisk numbers up, still producing heaps and heaps of Scourge though. That's just such a lot of Scourge. And we'll see how the engagement goes down there. Yeah, he's going to have to engage eventually though, because otherwise Lava's going to get so many Mutalisk count up that he's just going to be able to overwhelm the amount of Scourge that he has there. Engaging, one of the Mutalisks does go down from Beast. He's got, actually Lava's got a lot of his own Scourge, and he is trying to macro against them while his Scourge try and do their own thing. But Lava, of course, is going to be able to manually micro all of that down as well. And man, Lava has got a lot of Mutalisks chasing down Beast's own Mutalisk. And it looks like he is going to be able to clean all of them up. However, the Scourge coming in to engage. A couple of them do go down. Lava's micro is good though. He is going to be able to... Oh man, 4 of the Scourge going down on a single Mutalisk, which is not what he wanted, especially as that was a pretty weak health Mutalisk anyway. Lava staying on top with his micro against these Scourge, and he does lose quite a few, but I think he's still got a higher count now. So he is going to have the Mutalisk advantage here, and he's going to try and use that to win right here and right now with his Mutalisk. So here's Lava now, and he does have, as we can see, he's got 7 Mutalisk here, which means he's in a very good position, and he probably should actually go and engage now, but of course he's not even sure how many Scourge are out there and so on, and he doesn't want to get backstabbed. However, he is probably going to go for it now. He has got his own Zerglings as well, which are going to be even more important when Beast has got so few Mutalisks to defend. Oh, and he does engage one of them, contacting one of them doesn't, and he's engaging the Scourge again. Nice little bit of micro here with his patrol micro. It looks like he is going to kill most of them off without even taking a hit. And he's going to continue on into the base, scouting with his Scourge, and he sees that there's nothing there. There's just Scourge and like 1 or 2 Mutalisk here, so he is going to go for it. Engaging here with his nice little patrol micro. Got his own Scourge Zergling on the way as well, which is going to be so annoying for Beast to have to try and deal with here. And oh man, he's even got his own Scourge. And GG from Beast. Lava taking it. Lava already taken 2 ZVZs against Hwaseung, and Beast being taken down. Even though he had good ZVZ records so far in this King of the Hill, Lava has managed to take it, and Lava's feeling very good about himself. So now we'll see who Hwaseung sends out. And he is pleased with himself. Look at that smile. He's very pleased with himself. Okay, so carrying on to the next game. It's now tied up 2-2. SKT versus Hwaseung. And it looks like it's going to be Rex. Who is Rex? Is that what's his face? Uno momento. I think that's Air. Yeah, it is. It is Air against Larva. Okay. So we're gonna see Protoss versus Zerg, and we'll see how Lava's ZVP has been faring up. We are on Blue Storm, and at the top right corner, Zerg player for SKT, Neo SKT. It is Larva. However, on the bottom left corner we have a red Protoss, or it will be red in a moment. It is Air playing for Hwaseung. Now Hwaseung has already got 2 kills, however it looks like they're not doing so well against SKT, and I mean it's only been Lava has been the one that's been stomping here. Already got 2 kills here of Zerg players, top Zerg players, Beast and Killer, both going down to Lava. So Lava is super pleased with himself. He was playing pretty serious though, so I think that when he really turns it on, he can be a really good player, particularly in a matchup like ZVZ. So it looks like Air is going to go for a standard Forge Expand on this map. Now of course this map you have to have your Forge a little bit further back, just because it's really hard to wall off on this map against Zerg. So you pull everything back a little bit. And this probe is going to come in here and have a little bit of a scout around. Spawning pool going down for Lava before his hatchery, as he did do a bit of an overpool. Sonic saying sorry in his chat. Sorry. I can't see what else. Something about the volumes. Ah yeah, people are complaining that the game sounds not loud enough because Sonic talks so loudly, and yet the digital volume isn't. No, not that high, Sonic, not that high. And that doesn't matter too much for us anyway, as we've got pretty small sound. Looks like Air's being annoying with his probe here, obnoxious, as Almaster would say. And oh, he doesn't quite manage to place it down, man. That would have been perfect, but he's not going to be able to do it. Nope. But the Lava's able to get a few hits off there with this thing, and he does manage to get his hatchery down at last. So this is a little bit delayed though, and Air was managed to pull off a 12 Nexus, it looks like, before cannon. So that's going to be pretty good for Air if he maintains that economic advantage. Going to go gas off this, so it looks like he might be going for a bit of 2-hatch play or even a Hydra play. So we'll see how this plays out from Lava as he does go for his gas before he takes his 3rd hatchery. However, he is sending what looks like a drone at the bottom right, so he's going to take a 3rd. He's just going to take his gas first though, which is a little bit different. And it looks like we got a few probes here which are going to block until the cannon can get up. So these Zerglings are going to try and be annoying. And a couple of them do manage to get in. Are they going to be able to get a run by and do a scout? No. So it looks like this, even this Zergling is going to go down, and the cannon is going to complete before he can run it past. Could have been extremely annoying to deal with that if he had managed to run it past before the cannon completed, but it didn't. However, he is going to scout the 12 Nexus, so he does know what's up, and he is taking his third there. And Lava has discovered that you can actually range that Nexus. If he wanted to, he could just sit there picking away at the Nexus, seeing if he could kill anything. However, I don't think he's going to be able to do that really. He is going to continue trying that though, just every now and then poking at it, but the probes are going to come and stop him from doing that, so that's not going to work. Oh man, he might actually be able to take a probe down with his little Zergling harass here. Air still has not produced a Zealot, as he has got his probe still scouting, and he is aware of how many the Zergling count of Lava, so he knows he doesn't even have to make a Zealot. However, the one is finally popped out, and that Zergling's going to have to run away. Now Lava, of course, is going to have to respond by making a couple of his own Zerglings to be able to defend against that Zealot as it finally does come out. The probe does go down though. Man, I'm way too tired. So the Zealot is forced to pull back as he sees the amount of Zerglings, and it's not going to work. The probe is going to go and scout the bottom right place though, so he's going to be totally aware of what's going on, and he is throwing down his Stargate. Zerglings might actually do a bit of a run by here, and they could actually, looks like they are going to go for it as well. Running past the cannon, past the wall. Looks like they're going to snipe the cannon actually, so they are going to go for the cannon, but the probes are pulled very nicely and are actually going to be able to defend that. Excellent probe pull there from air, and that was just ridiculous how all of the Zerglings suddenly were not able to move there. Lava's going to be really annoyed about that, and looks like he's got a lot of Zerglings actually. He's going for mass Zergling off this here, so he is going to try to continue with this, and I'm not sure if actually, there's only a single cannon going down here to defend against us. I'm not sure if Air is even aware about the amount of Zerglings coming out of this attack here. So he's trying to take down that cannon before he does actually go for the final engage, and he is going to go for it though. 3 more Zerglings again attempting to try and get in there, but he's not going to be able to pull it. He does go behind the Zealot though, so he's going to be able to get through this choke here, just so he doesn't have to worry about the pathing anymore. Looks like those Zerglings are glitching out a little bit there though, so he's not going to be able to pull it off, and he's going to have to start droning up now. So he's actually economically very far behind now as he tried to win with that little Zergling cheese, but Air's little pull there was pretty good. He is going to be able to take down the Zealot though, and now Air has to be careful here not to lose to this mass Zergling. And look, the Zerglings do manage to get by. One of the cannons goes down. Is the second one going to be able to get down? He does manage to get some Zerglings into the main base, and he pulls back with the other ones. So he does have, looks like 5 Zerglings here, and he's not sure he even wants to target though. Looks like he's going to go for the gas probes, keeping his Zerglings alive here as best as he can against the probe pool. And he should be able to snipe 1 or 2 probes here if he does manage to keep his Zergling micro on top. There goes one of them. However, one of the Zerglings does also get taken down. And he's actually in quite a difficult position here as he's economically quite far behind, even with this little run by. And he does manage to kill a couple of probes here. The Zealot looking to try and take out the Zerglings, but he does manage to keep them alive here. And another probe goes down, but 2 of the Zerglings are going to be taken down by the little pull there by yeah, and we have got Lava going up to 5 hatcheries. So he's not so far behind as he does manage to get up to 5 hatcheries. However, I feel like they're both a little bit late here, and that's because of the mass amount of Zerglings produced instead of producing drones. So he's economically a little bit weak at the moment. Let's put it that way. Air is very confident though, as he is Air is confident as he's only staying on that single cannon. Looks like he might reproduce it now, but he's confident enough to have stayed on that for quite a bit of time. And in fact, he's not even going to reproduce it. He's going to stay on that 1 cannon, not worried about further Zergling attacks, as he does have enough Zealots to be able to defend that, and his probe pull is pretty good. And Scourge coming in for a scout. Looks like they might be able to take down one of the Corsair. Goes down. Good effort there from Lava. Trying to keep that Corsair number down is pretty crucial, and he is going up to 6 hatchery, so he's going to go for a bit of 6 hatch Hydralis off his 3 base. On the other hand, Air is actually feels a little bit late actually with his speed and his sorry, not his speed. He's gone DT, but even so, feels a little bit late. 1 Zergling going down, 2 Zerglings going down, and Lava knows now what's up, that there's going to be DT on the field. However, he does have quite a few Scourge sitting around here, and actually looks like these Scourge might be able to meet up with these Corsair. The DT does see them though, so the Corsair do pull back. Nice little scout from the DT, keeping him alive. Dark Templar, I should say. And looks like he's going to try to snipe it, but doesn't quite manage to pull that off. Evolution Tembo going down, so he's going to be able to get his +1 carapace against any future speed lot timing attack. To be honest, Protoss and Turan, and pretty much Zerg as well, every attack they do is a timing attack. The question is, what timing are you trying to go for? You're going to go for like pre-Mutalisk or pre-Lurker or pre any units at all, or everything's all about timing. So the Corsair are going to come in here and try and drive away the Overlord so the DT can come and do a bit of damage, but there is a Spore Colony there, so it's going to be pretty irrelevant either way. Corsair made ineffective by the Zerg defense. They do have +1 air upgrade, and he's got quite a couple of Templar here as well as his 4 gate, so he's going to try and do a bit of pressure here. A lot of Zerglings coming out on the map suddenly, running through that small little choke, so they're going to be able to get scouting off at the very least, and that's because he knows that the 3rd timing is about now, and he's going to go and try and deny that. He should be able to pick off the probe, although having said that, there are quite a few Zealots here. Let's see how Air's probe marker is, and Lava might be able to take it down. He does take it down. Nice little play there by Lava, taking it down and forcing him to send another probe to go and build that Nexus. However, it doesn't delay by much at all. He's going to try and keep his Zerglings alive to repeat it though, if he can. Lava, meanwhile, trying to build up his Hydralisk forces, taking his 3rd gas here as well. And I think that Air has stopped producing Corsairs, so he is going to try and stick on that quantity of Corsairs. Oh, it looks like Lava's trying to snipe down the pylon before any cannons can go up. And look, here comes the probe, but the probe's forced to pull back, so he's not able to take that as quickly as he wanted to. Nice little delaying tactics here from Lava, but that Nexus is eventually going to go up unless Lava's going to have enough Hydralisk to be able to go and attack. And it looks like he's decided he is going to go send forward his Hydralisk. At the very least, he's going to be able to drive away that Dark Templar. But he might be able to push forward and even deny the 3rd of air. Dark Templar does go down, and there's probably a couple of control groups here of Hydralisk now. Although there's High Templar and Speed Zealots on the field, so I don't know how effective it's going to be in terms of denying that base. He's switched to his mass Hydralisk production, though. He's feeling confident with the amount of drones he has. Oh, and the Corsair getting a little bit of damage taken to their shields, although none of them do get taken down. There are actually quite a lot of Dragoon, Zealot, and High Templar here, so... Oh man, those are all pretty weak Corsairs now, thanks to the Air running them directly on top of Hydralisk. Looks like he is going to go for the engage here. Storm's going to come down though. Nice dodge from Lava. Reflexes are on target, and he does have more High Templar though. Nice little Storm, but only one of the Hydras going down. Again, a good attempt at a Storm, but Lava's micro is pretty good here. However, there's just so many Storms, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it there. Still coming in with the Hydras though, there's a lot of Hydralisk there, and he's decided that there's no more Storm. One more Storm does go down though, he does manage to dodge it back a little bit, and he has to try and survive against the Speed Zealots, which are engaging. Looks like he might actually be okay, as long as there's no Dark Templar, as the Corsair have managed to drive away the Overlord, and he is coming in with even more units. He's got Lurkers can finish as well, although Air does have his own robotics facility. Looks like all of the Corsair actually... I'm surprised that only one of the Corsairs died so far, because he keeps running them on top of the Hydralisk. Looks like he is going to go in once again here, taking down the cannon. He's going to be able to take down the Nexus as well, which is cancelled immediately by Air, as he knows he's not going to be able to hold on to that. Lava suddenly in a commanding position in the game. Although Speed Zealots are out on the field, I don't think they're going to be able to do much versus Lava's forces. And Lava is on fire tonight. Looks like he's decided that he's sick of losing in the individual leagues, so he's going to go for winning in the Pro League, and he might even be able to pull off an all-kill here. He's already 3 kills, and he only needs 2 more. Well, I don't say already 3 kills, he hasn't won this yet, but I mean, he's in a good position in this game. Yeah, actually that was quite preemptive to say that he's 3 up. There's definitely not 3 up. Now, of course, Air here is going to be looking to break out so that he can establish his third base, or re-attempt to establish his third base. He has gone up to 8 gateways, which you can much only produce off on 2 base. That's the maximum that you can produce off, and you can't produce constantly, I believe, unless you're only producing zealots. Hydra's looking to engage here, but that cannon's going to just prevent them from doing anything. And this zealot run by, well, not run by, but this zealot, a little poke from Air, is going to do nothing at all other than force him to lose a bit of hit points on his zealots. Looks like this drone is going to try and take the base, but he's trying to run behind so that the zealots doesn't get him, but in fact the zealots had already run behind there anyway, and looks like it's not even going to go down because the zealots are trying to focus down these hydralisks. Poor control on both players in many ways, but that drone is going to now take that base. So Lava's going after 4 base versus Air's 2 base. We do have a shuttle now, so he's going to pick up some zealots. 4 zealots. And go and do a bit of a drop. With his Corsairs leading the way, however, there are a lot of Scourge there, and actually the Scourge are going to be able to see that, trying to stay alive to snipe the shuttle. At least he's aware of it though, and he did manage to take down 2 of the Corsair there though, so Air is looking in a very poor position now. Hwaseung is actually looking like they might not even need to send out Bisu though. I mean, if Lava continues to stay on this good form, he's going to come up against... Who should he come up against next? He could... I could see him losing to Haya. I mean, his ZVT is not that great. And K-Kong, even K-Kong maybe could beat Lava. So the 2 Terran left on Hwaseung are going to be the thing that SKT needs to stay alive. Although there are a lot of Dragoons here actually, and Air looks like he might be able to try and push up the ramp here. There are lurkers further up there, but there's 2 observers and they're not going to be sniped just yet. Scourge coming in, they're looking to go for snipe. One of them does go down, the other one is extremely low on hit points, so he is forced to pull back as he doesn't want to lose that observer to the Scourge and therefore not be able to push up against the lurkers. So Lava does manage to maintain his contain there. Looks like he's pushing out with speed zealots here, but Lava's got nice little splits here, nice little bits of micro, and he is going to survive against that, taking the high ground. So these speed lots are going to be forced to pull back, and Lava's just got stuff spread all over the map. I think it's just mostly overlords, but you can just look at the map and there's yellow dots covering everything sort of willy-nilly. Oh, nice little storm there, but Lava's already pulled back his Hydra, so that's not going to do much. And Sonic's having a laughing fit once again. Nice little unburrow and burrow back there from Lava as he managed to keep alive from that storm, predicting the storm before it even happened and unburrowing. Meanwhile, his production is out of control as Air is not able to do anything. A nice little high tempo snipe, 2 of them going down, 3 of them going down. The one does manage to get a storm off. It's not a great storm, and nice little lava little snipe there. And that's really crucial actually for Air because he needs the High Templar to be able to break up against this. Dragoons going forward here. Actually, it looks like a bit of a miss micro here. They're not going to be able to do anything. And a question mark here from Sonic as he's like, what was that? That was a bit weird. And Air is still not able to do anything against the vast quantity of lurkers which Lava has. His control is not even that great as he's not even managing the whole position. So he is going to go for it. He has only got a single observer there though. And he has to be careful to keep that alive. Looks like he might be on nice storms there. And the Hydralisks are going to come in though and try and kill off the observer. It's not quite able to do that though. And actually it looks like Air might be able to break out here. He has got a bunch of Dragoons now which can range out the thing. But the Scourge managed to connect and again connect with another observer. So both of the observers have gone down. And there's a lot of Hydralisks coming here. GG from Air. And Lava, man, he's on fire. He's on fire tonight. So, let's see who's coming up next. Is K-Kong. K-Kong's been given the task of beating Larva, who is just dominating at the moment. We'll see how he fares, and we'll get straight into the game. Honggu Larva, the Honggu Maniac. So, at the bottom right corner, K-Kong playing for Hwaseung, Neo Hwaseung. Top left corner, playing for Neo SKT, is Larva, already on a 3 killing streak. See if he can maintain it and go for the all kill, or whether K-Kong is going to be able to take him down. Now Larva, of course, has not been that great in the individual leagues in terms of his general performance. It's been sort of acceptable, but not particularly impressive, I guess you could say. So it's interesting to see how he's performing a bit better in the Proleague situation, where you don't know who your next opponent is going to be. I mean, you look at his overall record and he's 44%. Sure, his ZVP is like 56%, which is pretty decent, but his versus Zerg is less than 50%. Versus Turan, 34%. Actually, this could be the crucial thing here, is that his versus Turan is very weak. And to be honest, most of the Zergs on SOSPA are pretty weak in ZVT. Killer is like one of the few who can sort of duke it out with everyone except for like C. Maybe Light as well is going to be able to take down Killer, but in general, like a lot of the other players just have really weak CVT, and it is a hard matchup. I mean, the Terrans have got such a lot of options available to them in terms of what they do, and I feel like the caliber of TVZ coming out of SOSPA has generally been pretty good. Although again, it's pretty much C is like the main one. Oh, nice little control here from Larva, and he might even be able to take down this SCV. Although the Marine is probably going to spawn before he's able to do that. A nice little control there, so he does actually manage to take it down quite a lot of hit points, but he is going to have to come back. So we do have 3-hatch play here from Larva versus a command center. Ooh, command center. His gas timing looks pretty standard. And I'm really tired. Why? So tired. Zhong is popping out here from Larva, so he's going to be able to try and smash that SCV into the ground. He's going to send 3 of them now to go have a little bit of a scout, and he does have his sunken colony complete, just to prevent any early marine attacks and vulture run-bys that could possibly happen. Nice little drone scout here, actually, because the marines are pushed forward way too far, but no, they're not. No, he's not quite able to get in, but oh man, even the drone does go down, which is a little bit annoying for Larva, although it's not a really big deal. At this stage of the game, one drone is mildly important. And his lair should be on the way in just a moment. There it is, his lair does go down. And he'll be looking to produce either a Hydralisk Den or a Spire. It'll be interesting to see which one he goes for in this matchup. I mean, he has got pretty decent Mulus micro, so there's, I guess you could say it's not a bad decision at all for him to go for Mulus, but he could go for Lurker as well, and that's not entirely uncommon. Although the current standard for the pro gamers is to go for Spire. Oh, it looks like K-Kong with his nice little marine control, predicting where the Overlord is going to be, and he's going to try and snipe. It looks like it is going to go down as well. Very annoying for Larva there, as not only does he not manage to get a scout off with it, but he loses it, so that means he has to rebuild it to get his supply up, which might delay his Mutalisk a little bit if he does go for Mutalisk. And I can't see any den on the minimap, so it looks like he is going to go for some Mutaplay. the timing for the Mutalisk is somewhat crucial, as you want to have those 9 Mutalisk in time to be able to try and kill off anything. Oh, it looks like the Zerglings deciding that they can go for it, given that the Marines were a little bit poked out, and they do manage to take down 1 Marine, although that's not really that great. And to be honest, now he doesn't have anything in the front of the natural of Kong, so he has no idea when anything's going to happen. Spire does go down, of course, from Lava, so he is going to go for Mutalisk, and he should be... looks like +1 5-Rex probably is going to come down here from Kong. If he throws down another barracks, then we'll know that for sure. And he's even going to push out a little bit here with his Marine Medic, just to have a little poke around and make sure there's no Zerglings there waiting to die. 6 Zerglings out now from Lava, so he can use those to scout and perhaps try and deny a little bit of information. Looks like Marine Force is actually going to come across the map here, so he is going to push out with that and see if he can hit pre-Mutalisk and do a bit of damage. A couple fire bats as well, and still on 4 racks, so don't know if he's actually going to go all the way up to 5 racks just yet. He's keeping his Zerglings a little bit hidden, but he's going to have to reveal them eventually. If he brings them up around the top though, actually this could be... oh no, he's not. He's going to have to pull back so he doesn't lose those to the Marine Firebat. And it looks like they're stimming and going to run in. But no, they decide not to in the end. 2 sunken colonies there, perhaps too much. And he's going to go all the way back, which is what Tehran does, is they push forward to force sunken colonies, and then they go back after they've done that, if they don't think they can win against the amount of sunken colonies there. Although, of course, the difficult thing for the Zerg player is that sometimes they do go for it. It's not always that they won't go for it, so... Anyway, it looks like he is remaining on those 4 barracks. He is taking his factory and he's throwing down his missile turrets. Good timing here, as Lava's Mutalisk pretty much on time, and he's going to come in here with him, try and do a bit of keeping Kong inside his base. And that's the main purpose of the Mutalisk. Like, it's great if you can... it's really great if you can do some economic damage. Oh, look like the Zergling's going to go for a little bit of a run by here. There's Marines on top of the ramp though, so they're not going to be able to do much. They do take down 1 Marine, but again, that's not a problem there for Kong. And looks like the Mutalisk are going to try and push into the main here and see what they can do. Only 1 missile turret there, so he's going to try and focus that down. And he doesn't even manage to get it, although it probably will burn down in a second unless someone goes to repair that immediately. And it looks like he's not even going to bother, so that looks like it is going to go down. Repair, but no, it goes down. And here comes the Mutalisk again, looking to do a bit of harass. Not even quite managing to take down that SCV there. And his micro isn't actually looking that great there. Quite a few hits getting taken on those Mutalisk. He does manage to take down quite a few of the Marines though, and he has to try and thin those numbers out if he can at all. Keeping the Marines inside the base so that he can survive for longer. He is going to try and take that 3rd down there. There is a firebat there though, which killed off his drone, I think, and that's going to delay his 3rd for ages. Oh no, having said that, his top right has got a 3rd, and he's got his Hydro stand, so he's going for a pretty standard play here. Mutalisk still trying to do a bit of damage here. Taking down another couple of Marines. The missile turret is back up though, so he's not going to be able to do as much there. He might be able to take down the supply depot though if he's got good control, but the scan goes down, so he knows where the 3rd is, and there's not really anything there to defend. He's going to have to come in with his Marine and his... oh, and he cancels it. He knows that he's not going to be able to keep that alive. And the firebat there with 3 kills, the Zerglings weren't able to take it down, so he can't even expand there either. This is an awkward position here for Lava, as he's now got to deal with the fact that he's only on 2 base. Queen's just going down, so he is going to try and still go up to Hive Tech, even though he only has got 2 gas, which is going to be very annoying for him to do. Oh man, if he can snipe that tank, it would be excellent for him. It was a help for delaying any push from Kong for quite some time. And he cancels the bunker, doesn't think he needs it. Meanwhile, finally Lava does manage to take his 3rd at the bottom left corner. And he does have some lurkers on the way, and of course Hive is on his way. His +1 Carapace should be pretty much finished for his ground units. Not quite though, as we can see. But he has got lurkers finally on the field, so he is going to be able to defend that 3rd there. And it looks like he might have actually kept his drone live at the top right, so he could go for like a real quick 4th expansion. However, I don't know if that's going to work out that well for him, just because of Kong staying pretty active here with his units. Not afraid to push out a little bit on the map with them, as the Mulis aren't quite enough to scare him off, and it looks like he's going to have the crucial amount of Marines to be able to push forward now. So the question is Lava going to have enough to be able to defend it? He does have a lot of, looks like, Zerglings on the field though, so he's going to try and crush this with Ling Muta, over, and a few Lurkers of course, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. There are a lot of Marines there, and 3 tank, and a science vessel, which is a pretty standard, I would assume, 9-minute push. And he does manage to take down 1 medic. The medics are pretty important. And it looks like a radiate goes down. Is he going to be able to split in time? Not too bad of a split, but not that great either. And he does take quite a lot of damage to his Mulis, losing 3 or 4 there, I think. So he's going to see if he can do a bit of an engage here with the Zergling Lurkers that he have. Maybe even go for a bit of a backstab, which a lot of the Zergs have recently seem to have been doing in ZBT. Looks like he is going to go for the backstab, but there are quite a lot of Marines still back there, and a bunker. Even a tank and a science vessel, so I don't know if that's even going to work. Only 3 Lurkers here is not going to be enough to deal with this, even with the Mulis there, and the burrow is not that great either, so he is going to have to pull back here. The only thing that he did there was slightly delay Kong's eventual and deliberate push towards his natural. The Zerglings do spot it though, so he does know what's up, and he's going to try and flank that and do a bit of crushing of that force. If he can at all do that, then he will be in a good position. Defiler Debt Mound is not quite complete, so he's not going to be able to defend this with... Oh man, what is that? That was a bit weird. Burrowing down, going for the engage. Lurkers burrowing, and they are on top of the tanks, so it looks like the tanks might be able to go down. Having said that, Marines are pretty good. More Lurkers coming in though from the back, and he is at least able to take down that 9-minute push without much difficulty. So Lava there looking a lot better than I would have thought at first. However, Kong loading up a drop, which you're probably going to send to the 3rd, trying to keep Lava distracted with that push while he goes for a drop now. Nidus Canal is on its way though, so he should be fine in defending it, and his consume will be almost complete, so he's going to have Defiler on the field. Even the connection to Battle.net has been lost. Ah, Sonic! Why you no internet? Anyway, there are a bunch of Lurker here, and they're not even burrowed, so this is actually sort of good for him because he can run them immediately back without having to unburrow first. He's even extremely aware of what it is. The Marines coming out to try and do a bit of damage, but they lift immediately back up into the dropship. Still trying to do a bit of harass here with that dropship, keeping those units alive. He has finished his 3rd command center, so he can kind of try and take that. Pulling back with his dropship, though, is he's not willing to commit with anything there. And he especially doesn't want to lose it to Scourge while it's still full of units. That would be unfortunate. Meanwhile, these Lurkers are actually a little bit out of place, and he needs to be a bit careful, although that science vessel was pushed forward a little bit last I saw. I know he was going to be fighting against that. So he has to get his Defiler transported immediately to the 3rd and defend it. His Lurkers are also having to reposition themselves as they're out of position a bit. However, he does have consumed, so the swarm's going to go down. Oh, it's a little bit late though. The Marines could potentially push up here past the Lurkers as the Lurkers are out of position. This drop is immediately being cleaned up though. So Lava on fire tonight, still going. Apparently so first server was collapsed, so they had to play the rest on the test server. Fair enough, fair enough. Anyway, looks like a radiate goes down on the Lurkers, so even though he has got a swarm down, he has to be careful not to lose to a radiate, which is happening to his Lurkers, so he needs to get a couple more Lurkers transported through the Nidus Canal so he can actually defend his ramp. And it looks like the Marines are just going for it. The Lurkers are a bit late, and he has managed to get up in here. The swarm does go down there. He has got 3 Lurkers there, so he is able to burrow and try and defend it. Oh, it looks like one of the science vessels does go down. The other Scourge are taken down, and one of the Defiler's still alive. Looks like he's going to be able to throw down the Nidus, throw down the swarm, so the Marines are forced to pull back a little bit. Not able to do anything just yet though, although Swarm again goes down, so he's forcing the Marines. There's Swarm everywhere, just coating the entire base basically. Tanks sitting there at the back trying to do a bit of damage. However, these Zerglings here denying that 3rd means that Kong wants to try and finish this as fast as he can, as Lava has taken that 4th at the top right corner. Scan does go down, so he is aware of it, and he might decide to go and push for there. He's produced a couple of vultures, but I don't think he's quite yet going for a mech switch, as he doesn't have enough map control to be able to do that, nor does he have the economy really. It'd be much easier for him to be able to do that with 3 bases as opposed to 2. He has managed to take his third though. Defiler has been swarmed here. I mean, irradiated here, and that could be annoying. And actually, he has to be a bit careful at the top right base. He does have his nice canal there, so he is going to transport the units there. No, he just sends them to the wrong base, and the Marines are coming up. He hasn't even scouted this, so he has to pull back immediately, get his units through the Nidus Canal. But it looks like it's going to be too late here, and the Nidus Canal goes down, so he's not going to be able to defend this base, and that base is definitely going to go down there now. That is unfortunate for Lava now. Suddenly he's gone from being in a good economic position to being a pretty average economic position. Looks like he is going to clean up those Marines eventually in his base though. Oh man, that was a nice little mine there. Ling's coming in here to have a look at the third, but all they're seeing is that there is a third and it's defended pretty well. Meanwhile, K-Kong is continuing with his SK Tehran as far as I can tell. Scourge trying to pick off a science vessel if they can, but that's not going to happen. And there are 2 dropships here now, which could be extremely annoying for him to deal with. Whoops. Anyway, back into the game, and let's have a look-see. Plague going down on the science vessels, excellent Plague, but there are 2 science vessels and some dropships going down here, so they're going to be able to defensive matrix on the Marines, which means that the Zergling is going to be able to do pretty much nothing on, and he gets a radiate down on the Zergling, which I don't know if that was the best thing to do, but hey, it works, man. Works for him, so he's going to go and try and snipe something here. Scourge coming in, looks like they are going to be able to take down one of the science vessels, but the Irradiate does go down on top of the Defiler, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get Swarm off. He has to get it off immediately, but it's not. Oh, he does manage to get it off, but that's not going to do much there, especially with a fire back there, which is going to be able to die. But it did take down some Lurkers, and it looks like Marines attacking at the front at the same time. And Lava, though, managing to take down 2 more of the science vessels, so he is keeping that cloud down, and he is taking the bottom right natural, but unfortunately he's lost a whole bunch of his base production buildings, so he's tech buildings, so he's no longer able to produce Defiler, which is unfortunate for him. He also can't produce Zerglings until he rebuilds that. He does borrow some Lurkers though. Scando's down there, so his control is pretty good, and he loses his Lurkers now. Suddenly he's given free reign. He's able to snipe the Hive if he wants to, and he is going to do that, as well as Queen's Nest and the Evo Chamber. So K-Kong suddenly switching this around as he destroys Lava's natural, and Lava looks like his rampage might be stopped here by this sudden switch around of events. Meanwhile, K-Kong taking the top right base. He has still got his army there, so he decided, hey, why don't I just retake this thing? Instead of Lava having it, I'm going to have it. And he's even got another drop at the bottom left base, so Lava has down to mining off only 2 base, with one of them pretty low on money. And even that Defiler looks like it might be taken down. He's sniping the Nidus Canal, so no reinforcements are going to be able to come in here. And it is looking in a very bleak situation suddenly for Lava, as K-Kong suddenly rips him apart with excellent drop play and pushing in the front. +3 on his Marines, so he's got a lot of attack. And GG from Lava! Lava's rampage was forced to stop, and he wasn't able to get the ore kill that he was looking for. So we'll go on and see who comes in next. Apparently the fish servers went down, so they went to the backup servers, and let's see what the next player is going to be. Looks like they don't have any voice in this channel, so there's a whole lot of people just coming in here and randomly talking, which would be a bit annoying, but just going to have to deal with that. Meanwhile, looks like we have K-Kong versus Bye Bye, who is that? Let's have a look. Bye Bye is... Man, I got so many tabs here I can't even find it. I imagine that's Sark. Yeah, it's Tehran, so he must be Sark. Okay, so we got, unless Beast was like off racing as Tehran, which I don't think is going to happen. So, K-Kong versus Sark, Tehran versus Tehran on Electric Circuit. Teams are tied up at 3-3 in this all-kill Pro League. And we're going to get into the game in just a minute. So here we go, the map is Electric Circuit. Bottom left base is Kong, the winner just now against Lava, who had a rampaging 3-0, but then he is finally taken down by Kong in the ZVT matchup, which is the hard one for Lava, let's put it that way. I think it's the hard one for a lot of Zergs. Anyway, bottom left base, on the other hand, is the challenger who approaches Sark, Saran player, looking to go for some TVT on Electric Circuit, which we've already seen a TVT on this map just yesterday, which was between, was it Shiny and someone else? Uno momento, as I find out who it was. Oh man, was it the wrong player? Was it a fake player? Sonic mad, bro. Sonic real mad. He's like, why these players joining my game, man? They just need to get lost. They just need to leave. Bye bye and Kong. Or maybe there was something else wrong that happened there, I'm not sure. Might have been some fake player though. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, we had a TVT yesterday on this map between Shiny and Haya. Of course, Haya managed to take that out, but he hasn't played yet, so he's still in reserve here for Hwaseung. Magikarp waiting to arrive. And we'll see how Sark's TVT is. Now Sark, I think he has got pretty good TVT, so we'll have a real quick look if I can find it. That's not Sark, that's not Sark. There we go, Sark. His TVT 61%, 11-7. So he's got decent TVT, better than a lot of players. On the other hand, Kong, let's have a look at Kong. Kong's TVT is 25%, but it's only 1-3, so he hasn't got very many games to base that off. However, so far it hasn't looked that great, basically. Although the games that he played were not shown on Wikipedia. Wonderful. Ah, here we go. So he played against Sark. He's already played against. Oh, wait. Hold up, never mind. Whoa, that's a spoiler. He's played against Sexy 3 times, and he won one of those and lost twice. And he's played against Mong before, and he lost there. None of those games have been on Electric Circuit there, though. So. Looks like there's a bit of a forward barracks here from Sark, but again, it doesn't look like it's going to be any BBS shenanigans. At least I'd find that mildly unlikely. He's just going to use it to have his barracks a bit closer for any scouting that he needs to do.
지금 빌드는 공미창선 노베럭 더블을 했는데 자 지금 센터 쪽에 마린들 찍으면서 기다리고 있습니다. 노베럭 더블인 거 알면은 자 공미창 선수 바로 견제 갈 거예요 지금. 자 이제배로 올라가고 있는 공미창 선수. 자 이문근 선수 잡고 지금 분위기는 공미창 선수 나쁘지 않은 그런 분위기.
See the SCVs here trying to be a bit annoying. It looks like they're probably a marine or two actually out on the field. The barracks hasn't completed. So this could be a bit annoying from Sark here, as he's going to try and be very annoying against Kong. And the SVs are actually going to have to be pulled here to defend against this. As he's even going to throw down a barrack. So he's is he? What is that? I don't even know. Yeah, it is a bunker, and the SV is not going to try and complete that though. So he's not going to do that much with his marines. However, they're still going in here with the marines. Might be able to take down a few SCVs, which could be pretty annoying for him. And a lot of SCVs being pulled here for Kong, which is going to be annoying because it's going to delay his production for ages. And looks like he is going to take down some of the SCVs here. And actually the bunker is finished, so he's going to be able to load up his units inside of there, and if K-Kong is forced to pull up his command center here, that's pretty annoying. And there's actually just this forward barracks is actually pretty useful here for Sark, as he's continuing. GG from K-Kong. He's just not willing to be able to pull this off. He can't pull it off, and that was probably one of the world's shortest TVTs. Wasn't even a BBS either. So Sark taking that game. SKT Telecom going up 4-3 in this King of the Hill, and we'll see who comes up next against well, actually there's only one player left, isn't there? It has to be Haya. So we're gonna see Haya in his TVT action. Yesterday Haya had excellent TVT and was able to win. We'll see if he's able to repeat the process or not. And the map is Neo Jade. There we go. Top left corner, yellow Tehran. Just now beating what's his face? Oh man, K-Kong. I nearly forgot his name for a second there. Whew. Anyway, he is playing against K-Kong. They played against K-Kong and he won with that forward barracks. I imagine he's probably going to repeat the forward barracks again. Might just be me, but I think that's what he's going to do. Having said that, it's not considered a cheese per se. It's just pushes it forward so you can scout with it and have a little bit quicker marines to the opponent's natural. It's pretty standard, really. Not cheesy at all.
지금 남아있는 SK텔레콤의 선수는 김태경 선수거든요. 네, 어제도 화승에 구성훈이 남아서 소닉팀을 상대로 4대4에서 그 경기를 마무리하면서 화승팀이 승리를 했기 때문에 자, 오늘 경기 한번 좀 지켜봐야 될 것 같습니다. 네. 그리고 매니저분들은 네, 가만히 있지 말고 비매너 채팅.
So Haya's coming across here with the map. Look like he's also going to do a forward barracks. A little bit earlier as well than Sark's barracks, which is not a forward barracks. I'm really hungry. Need some noodles. Someone gets me some noodles. So, while we wait for interesting things to happen, let's have another little look at those Sabino shoes. Sabino Symbol Palm. So if you go to symbolfarm.co.kr, you can have a look at these shoes. And oh, there's a new news thing. Power Korea something. Anyway, where was I? Sabino shoes. And these camouflage ones are quite nice actually. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the high top Sabino shoes actually. They're quite cool. But there are these ones here as well, which I'll show you in a moment, which are quite good. But again, okay, so we got all done. These babies here. Nothing's happening, don't worry guys, it's TVT. So these party animal shoes, man, they're pretty cool. Personally at least, I think they're quite cool. But the ones I was saying is these camouflage ones are also quite cool, and I'll get a picture of those in a moment. Man, it's loading slowly, it's just because of the streaming though. Don't worry guys, in New Zealand internet isn't quite that bad, although it is pretty bad. And it looks like there's a bunker at the top of the ramp here on Jade, but there's a couple more Marines here from Sark, so he might be able to defend this. Haya though actually has got 3 Marines here now. He's focusing down well, and unfortunately Sark was killing the wrong unit as he killed the bunker instead of the Marines. However, he did manage to get rid of that bunker, so he's not going to be contained there for long. Haya on the other hand going up to 2 factory, and it looks like the players are going to continue on with this Snooze-fest called TVT. So these shoes here are pretty cool, in my opinion at least. Like the high tops with the camouflage, the little Sabino logo. But then these ones here, though, these are like the party animal shoes. So you wear your leopard leggings and your leopard spotted shoes, and you go do party animal stuff, or like bright purple leggings or something like that. That's how it's done, man. That's how it's done. Anyway, back into the game. looks like the Vultures have actually managed to do a bit of run by past each other, so both players are unaware of either player's Vultures, as it were. Haya has got his own Vulture here, though. He's going to try and micro away with that, keeping it alive. And it looks like he's going to run by, but he's got a couple more Vultures than what Sark a couple more Marines than what Sark has inside his base, and there's 2 Wrecks here to defend. So I think Haya's probably going to be a lot safer here than. Oh man, the Vultures are getting surrounded, but they are focusing firing down some of the SCVs. The Marines trying to stay alive here, and can't even tell because of the overlay here, but the Vultures are taken down in Haya's base, so he's going to be fighting against that, and he could now send his own Vultures if he so desired to go and be excruciatingly annoying for Sark to deal with. However, Sark did have a dropship, a Wraith after he made his starport, so he is going to come in here and do a little bit of annoying poking away at SCVs with it. However, Haya, of course, has sent his Vultures forward, and he's got 3 of them. It could be actually quite difficult here, although actually that blocking wall is probably going to block those just fine. And there is a tank out here from Sark, so he's going to be fine against defending against his Vultures. Now, of course, he needs to defend against the Wraith as soon as possible, and he does that by cancelling oh man, he loses 1 SCV there, but that Vulture is going to die. It's going to die, I tell you, man. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about, oh yeah, the Wraiths. He cancelled his machine shops to be able to produce those 2 Goliaths. And yet, that's quite annoying for him because it delays his upgrades quite a lot, so his siege mode and tanks will be a little bit slow. Nice little play here from Haya here, as he does put down his barracks, which will delay how long it takes to die. Having said that, it's not that much of a big deal, other than him wanting to get his academy down before his barracks died. As I don't think he's going to go up to more factories just yet. So both players are going to look to want to expand, as they also want to get some... probably want to get some tank lines up, because that's how TVT goes. You get some tank lines and then cool stuff happens. It looks like Sark is going to be able to take his natural expansion here, building a command center. Well, I assume he's going to build a command center, as it's taken a little while. Anyway, these Goliaths here are going to be okay against the Wraiths as long as they don't have cloak. And Sonic is gone hysterical with laughter again. It's okay, Sonic. Don't cry. Don't cry, man. Things are going good. Things are going well. It's okay. And Cloak Ray is coming in looking to take down a few SCVs here. And I'd say they are going to be able to take down quite a few here. And the comsat has not yet finished. So probably 4 or 5 SCVs are actually going to go down here. Rays are pretty bad by themselves, but once they got 3 or 4 of them, they can actually take down SCVs pretty quickly. Haya, on the other hand, looks like he wants to push forward against this here. Having said that, he's been scouted, so his Rays, one of his Rays is going to come back to try and help with the defense. Meanwhile, there's no Goliath here to defend, so Haya's losing a lot of SCVs here actually. And he's not even able to push forward against these tank lines, so Sark is actually looking in quite a strong position now. One of the Goliaths have got range on their attack though, so they are going to be able to shoot down all of these Wraiths, or at least do a lot of damage to them. And the Wraith is going to continue trying to be obnoxious here, picking off as many SCVs as it can. So actually, Haya's got very few SCVs left, man. And this is not far off at all what happened to me yesterday when I was playing mirror matchups. So Haya's like in a really bad position. Oh man, he's going to lose his Wraith, but that's okay though, because he's done the damage that he needed to do. And there's even this Wraith still sitting here, and he's going to have to wait for Comsat, but the scan finishes before he's going to be able to kill it with that Goliath. The moment scan finishes though, he will probably scan and kill that. Looks like the tank's going to push forward a little bit here, trying to establish a better position here as he pushes forward with him. And scan does go down, so the Wraith is destroyed. However, I think he has second Wraith, and that one did get away just fine. Looks like Hai's going to try and end it here, though. He needs to push up, but there's so many tanks here and a Wraith, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do this. He sieges up on the low ground, and all of his tanks look like they're going to go down. I don't know how he's going to be able to come back from this, though. Now he's got no more units left, and GG from Haya. Sark taking this. Lava and Sark being the 1-2 punch needed to take down Hwaseung. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get to see Bisu, but SKT taking down Hwaseung 5-3. So Hwaseung's kingship position has been vanished from their sight, as they unfortunately did get beat. 수고하셨습니다. And I think that concludes the casting for today, because that is the last game. No Bisu today, which is very sad, so sad, but that's okay. We'll probably see him next week when SKT plays against some other team. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but we'll find out. So, thank you all for watching. I am going to get some food because I haven't had breakfast yet. I'll play a little bit of music as an outro, and then you guys can... I don't know, man. You guys can do cool stuff. This is a nice song. Nice chill song for an outro. Thank you for watching. Press the follow button. Feel free to comment on my casting and so on and so forth, and the overlays and the little graphics I made and all that kind of thing. Tell me how bad they are. On Team Liquid you can private message me and I'll respond pretty quickly usually, because I spend all day on Team Liquid. At least I do now. I've got holidays. I may or may not stream some Star Server development coding today, later on, depends on how I feel. I managed to fix one of the bugs actually, and we've updated to a new Bootstrap version, so it looks a little bit nicer actually, so the website, that development. So definitely check that out a little bit later, and you'll be notified by Twitch when I go live if you press the follow button. Again, do that, man. Not that I'm trying to advertise myself or anything, but gotta have those follows, man. Makes me feel good in my heart when I have more followers. I don't know why. I think it's like an EP thing. Just sort of have that ego boosted up. Anyway, see you guys later. I won't be casting tomorrow, and I don't know if Almaster is because he's having internet problems, but hopefully, what's his face? Saley may be able to cast tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes, but I can't. So maybe I'll be back next week with more casting with Almaster. Until then, au revoir.